It's weird to make this video because I don't ever think I'd have to do a video on this particular person. And also, I've personally spoke to them in the past, so I didn't want this to come off as like a backstab. So I'm just going to lay everything out. Recently, it was brought to light that the Twitch streamer Sliker was essentially scamming his friends and his fans in the form of loans that he said he'd pay back. But for the majority of them, he never did. Now, this wasn't just like £5 for the chip shop or something. I'm talking over $300,000 total. Apparently, this has circulated around for a little bit, but it never really got picked up. But then, you know, 2 and 2 came together and people were asking, wait, you took a loan as well? So did I. He's never paying us back. And it got posted onto the live stream fail subreddit with a video of Sliker messaging one of his friends if they could borrow him money.
Yo, Typhoon, what's up, baby? I hope you don't hate me on this. It's so cringe, and I'm cringe for asking my brother, please do not hate me. Basically, my bank account got locked. This has happened for like 3-4 days. It got locked out, and I was looking for people that actually work and that I could ask if I could borrow from, and I'll pay back. Genuinely, give me 2 months and I can pay back. If you can't, no worries, my brother. If you can, yeah, I'm sorry, I couldn't get in the call to do this. I feel genuinely embarrassed. I've asked a few streamers, they couldn't help, and yeah, I don't mind it. It's okay. So I just went out, asked a few subs I've noticed, and yeah.
And this eventually blew up and got posted on the livestream fail subreddit, the same subreddit that talked about my August 27th incident when nothing happened. Essentially, the post was a video that Sliker made, messaging one of his friends, asking if he could take a loan off them. And this excuse saying that his bank account got locked and he needs money through PayPal, apparently this is the exact same excuse he'd used with everyone. So eventually, people sussed out that it wasn't a legitimate excuse. And below, Reddit did what Reddit does and compiled this laundry list of receipts of him asking multiple people, some of them big streamers, if he could have a loan. Apparently, it got so bad that like he was even messaging his viewers, and I think one of them forked over $7,000, which is insane. And that's not even the worst part. There was another streamer, Luke AFK fan, and he lended Sliker about $27,000, and that's in one go, and he's still not been paid back for it.
I'm actually like incredibly uncomfortable, and this is like super embarrassing, but I don't really know what else to do about it at this point, bro. I lost $27,000 from giving a lend to Sliker. I thought I could trust him, and I guess I just couldn't, bro. And I'm honestly like I'm really fucking sad about it.
Again, if this was like once or twice, or maybe even a couple times, you could chalk it up as a bit of an oopsie. It won't happen again. But this is something he's been doing regularly for a good while now. Now, the thing that I've been questioning for a bit is like, why do this? There must be some underlying problem, because if this ever got leaked, and everything ever gets leaked, everything ever, it'd be completely embarrassing and career destroying if this got out. Well, Sliker himself has admitted that he has a pretty bad gambling addiction, and it would make sense because gambling addictions, I know the whole meme of the guy digging in the mine and it says, you know, keep gambling because he's just about to hit the diamonds. That is unironically the thought process of a chronic gambler. That every single slot, they are one away from winning a jackpot. I'm not justifying it, but it totally makes sense as to why Sliker would be messaging all these people. It's a literal addiction in his brain. Something which he himself has admitted.
Ever since CSGO, not to blame, but ever since CSGO Lounge came out, it was the first time I went on that site, and it was a fun place to be on. You know, gamble skins and stuff, and wow. Eventually, I found out you could gamble with money.
Even his ex came out at one point talking about, you know, how bad his gambling addiction was, and it was just completely debilitating. It's horrible.
And statistics show that gambling has the highest suicide rate among all addictions. And Sliker is suicidal, and I'm just terrified that I'm gonna wake up one day soon to a phone call that he's killed himself.
Now, the title of this video is talking about my experience. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I didn't give Sliker 50k. He never actually asked me for any money. If anything, I reached out to him. This was back when I thought I still had a platform on Twitch before someone allegedly who didn't like me in the offices booted me off. I actually reached out to Sliker because he's also in the UK. We both deal with Twitch UK support, and I kind of asked him if there was any kind of way I could get some kind of support, help, or just anything with a second opinion. He didn't actually help me because he couldn't. He didn't have any contacts. risks. But the way I talked to him and the way he responded, he seemed like a really nice guy. I hate to admit it. He seemed like a very nice, genuine, down-to-earth person. He didn't seem to be malicious or wanting to get at anything or some ulterior motive. And I spoke to him for, over the course of a month, and he seemed very caring and respectful. Now, obviously, that doesn't undo everything he's done here. It is very scummy behavior. But, from my experience, he did seem like a nice guy. And if anything, he's just been completely crippled by, I guess you can say gambling addiction is a mental illness. Again, not an excuse. He has completely, screwed all these people out of money. Like 27K, that's unforgivable. That really is. He actually recently did a stream on his Twitch. It was only about 20 minutes long, explaining his side. And one of the first things he admits is it's a gambling addiction. That's the reason why he would keep taking these loans with no intention to pay people back. I've heard he has paid some people back from his own words. But again, if all these people are coming out, then for the 99% of people, they probably have saw no returns. Apparently, it became this horrible cycle of he would take a loan off someone, gamble it, and then take another loan off someone else to pay person A back, gamble that, and he'd just keep losing and losing because you do. You always lose at gambling. You always lose at betting. I just like how Twitch did that typical Twitch thing. You have Sliker, crying and admitting how much of a scumbag he is, and then you've got people ironically subscribing just so they can have, Rip Bozo come up in the corner and pretending that they're Asmongold. Obviously, everyone in the streamer culture is talking about this. You had Miskiff, who basically said, gambling in general on Twitch should be banned.
Twitch, ban fucking gambling for the love of God. I don't know where Sliker started gambling from, but for the love of fucking God, would you just ban it already? Why the fuck is this on this platform? People like Sliker is a dime a dozen when it comes to people that are probably addicted as shit and doing similar shit that he is. Ban the fucking thing. Why is this a thing in 2022? Why did I call Twitch 4 months ago for a meeting when they want to have a meeting about this and you guys have done shit? Just ban gambling. I don't get it.
And I do want to say, Miskiff, noble goal. Good luck with that, bro. If we have a category for women to basically get half naked called pools, beaches, and hot tubs, I don't think they're going to do anything with gambling. Honestly, anytime I go onto Twitch and XQC isn't online, the second most viewed streamer will always be Trainwrecks playing slots. And I wonder why. XQC, Trainwrecks, they're paid millions to promote this stuff, usually to their child audience. The thing is, if gambling was kind of just allowed and not promoted, that makes sense. But it has its own category on Twitch. It is called slots. Speaking about XQC and Trainwrecks, there was actually something good that X said on stream. He basically said that, if Trainwrecks would team up with him and they go 50-50, they would pay back all the people that Sliker took money from but never actually paid back.
You know what? I'll throw an offer out there. If Train wants to, if he wants to join forces with me on a 50-50 split, I will refund half of everybody who has been scammed of any money. A singular dollar with proof. We'll go through all of them and we'll refund them. If she wants to go 50-50. As long as there's solid proof and the numbers add up and it gets checked on both his side and their side. So double proof, which is, I think, kind of easy to do. We can do that.
Now, again, very noble idea, and I do like that. That's a really nice gesture. The problem is, how are you going to verify this? It's going to be a complete disaster. You're going to have all these 12-year-olds come out the woodwork and say, yeah, Sliker took $1 million off me. Please pay me back. The only way I can see that you could verify that is to get Sliker himself to show you the receipts, and that would be incredibly embarrassing for him. But if he were to do that, that would be, one of the few steps to redemption because, he's openly exposing himself and then being able to kind of right a wrong, even if it's with someone else's wallet. In conclusion, like I said, I talked to Sliker very briefly. He tried to help me with Twitch, even though he kind of couldn't. I remember he checked up on me just to make sure, if I was getting anywhere. He does seem like a nice guy. Again, it's only I shared a couple paragraphs with him. It's not like I knew the guy or ever met him or even spoke to him in voice. But unfortunately, he does seem to just be completely crippled by a mental illness. I would say a gambling addiction is a mental illness. I am so happy that I've never been plagued with gambling addiction in my life. I think he talked about how he started doing, CSGO slots to get skins. I think once every 2 years, I will go to a casino with friends, get drunk and do blackjack, always lose my money. I will always lose my money. And then I just think, I never want to do that again. I only did it because I was drunk. I think, honestly, it's miserable that online gambling and stuff like that is even a thing. It's so easily accessible. I have never signed up to any online gambling in my life, and I never would, unless I was given a fat paycheck for it, maybe.
Hello. I like money.
But yeah, I know I've made this a little bit more about gambling bad and kind of took it away from Sliker. What Sliker did is very bad. It is bad. And, you know, I don't know how he's going to come back from it. I really don't, because this is everyone on Twitch. He's collectively fucked over. And the problem is when you do something like this, your respect is gone. I've seen people on Reddit basically saying that, you know, if this thing with XQC and Trainwrecks works out, then, you know, Sliker is just going to get the money from XQC and then just spend it on gambling again. Like they've got no trust that the guy can redeem himself. Again, it sucks. Like he has scammed his friends. He's scammed his fans. It's incredibly disrespectful. And like that Luke guy, he took $27,000. That's not like a couple £100 loan. That's apartment money. And I don't think it's fair to say like it's these people's fault for lending it to Sliker, because I think Sliker was quite elusive and evasive. He wasn't really very open. I don't think most of these people even knew that other people had lent money to Sliker. They probably think it was just them. You've got these Twitch streamers and fans that have built a relationship. They send money over to a guy thinking they're doing a good deed, you know, that little karma fallout pop up in the corner, and then they get screwed over for it because he just spent it on gambling. I don't think there's much else to say here. It sucks because, again, like I spoke to him briefly, seemed like a really nice, genuine guy. But yeah, the first thing he needs to do is actually pay these people back. He needs to pay these people back, whether doing it through XQC and Trainwrecks or just slowly building up the money himself. It's a bad situation. Owing people money in any regard is one of the worst things you can be involved in. And yeah, I wish him all the best, and I hope he recovers and improves as a person. I do a funny one-liner here or something, but I don't think I should.